We need to do our job, which we are privileged to do, and then we go back home, and then we're the people who love El Paso, and we have to process that. So difficult. A young lady who was born and raised here in El Paso. It's been a very touching moment for her as well. Our CBS 4 weekend anchor, Adriana Candelaria, is live back at Ponder Park with tonight's vigil. Let's go live to her.
Hundreds of people right now, they are singing Amazing Grace. There are hundreds of people who have come out to be able to support the victims of yesterday's terrible massacre that has happened here in El Paso. The vigil started at around 6 this evening, and we have seen people holding candles. Now they have just lit their candles. Some people are holding up their cell phones. There are multiple prayers going on. At some point we were asked to look next to us and take the hand of the person who was right next to us. It didn't have to be anybody that we knew, as long as it was a stranger, and ask them if we're okay. Now, we were able to share that moment with each other. We did see several people shedding a few tears as they are still taking all of this in. You know, it's just been about 48 hours and definitely still a lot of broken hearts here. And you can see it just because there's tears are rolling down their faces right now. But, you know, I can tell you, we have been covering this since it happened yesterday. I have personally been outside the hospital and today outside the grievance center. And I can tell you that now covering this vigil, hearing their prayers, has been one of the most soothing events that I have covered in regards to this terrible tragedy. And people just keep on pouring in. There's actually so many people that they are standing outside of the fence. There are El Paso police officers here making sure that they are able to keep everyone safe. And it appears that they just finished singing Amazing Grace, and now the people are cheering for this coming together that has been happening. We have seen several public officials arrive. We saw Congresswoman Veronica Escobar arrive about an hour ago, as well as El Pasoan and now presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke. He was at the crowd. He just arrived about an hour ago, and it is believed that he might be able to give us a few comments here. He might be able to address the crowd. But there's also Bishop Mark Seitz, who is here. He was able to speak to El Pasoans, and one of the things that he said that really stuck out to me is that he said, you know, that this is of course a terrible tragedy, but he said that there are many communities, there are many cities, but there is only one El Paso. So, you know, we have been out here. The emotions are running very high, and despite seeing some people shed some tears, there's also been a sense of a community, a sense of love from people who are definitely holding on to each other a little bit tighter. This evening, we also saw that people were writing messages on giant cards. They were prayers in English and Spanish, all wishing El Paso healing as the days are coming upon us here after witnessing and seeing this terrible tragedy unfold before us. That vigil is now coming to an end, and El Pasoans are walking out to the song Amor Eterno by Rocío Dúrcal. If you don't know that song, it is a song that talks about eternal love. It wishes that the person who passed away would have never closed their eyes. That song talks about how she hopes that one day they'll be able to reunite in the heavens so that they continue to love each other. That is the song that is being played right now by mariachi here at Ponder Park as this vigil was underway since about 6 this evening. El Pasoans right now, they're walking out, and they're walking out with you know, chairs that they brought. I see a woman here with a shirt that says love on top of it, and they are, you know, cheering on right now. This is a sign that many El Pasoans who came here to pray are now feeling better. You know, this is really who El Pasoans are on a Sunday night. And even though I would not say we are completely healed. I would say that at least we're taking the first few steps to feeling like El Paso before yesterday, before seeing that devastating tragedy. Congresswoman Veronica Escobar also spoke to the crowd, and it was a little bit difficult to hear her because we are at a distance, but I did hear her tell the crowd to repeat after her. And one of those things that was loud and clear is that we are strong. So, you know, the hashtag El Paso Strong has been trending throughout social media. That is definitely felt here in the heart of El Paso. It definitely took a lot of strength for many of these people here to show their emotions tonight. As I mentioned earlier, there were people in tears. They were crying as the prayer was going on, as you can see. Hi, ma'am. Bishop Mark Seitz also prayed with the hundreds of people who are here, and he was able to say earlier, there are many communities, but there are none like El Paso. There is only one El Paso, and I think right now the whole country is, you see that right there? Can you say that again? They're saying Viva El Paso, right? You see, this is our El Paso. This is the El Paso that we know, which is why, there you go, El Paso. That is why right now we are hurting so much. Right now, the past few hours have been a healing process for many people who have been crying throughout the days. Right here, you can see Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke is coming out. He is speaking with several people here who are trying to get a hold of him. They're trying to at least there you see him right over here. He is taking selfies with the crowd who came out here to Ponder Park. Earlier, as he was entering Ponder Park, we heard people trying to get close to him to tell him about their grievances, we keep on hearing it. Viva El Paso, right? Now we just heard it from the mariachis.